Hello and welcome to the ESI Digest, where we run through the biggest esports business related news stories of the week. I'm your host, Tom Daniels, the sub-editor of Esports Insider, and in today's ESI Digest we have 5 huge news stories from the world of esports business. So in today's ESI Digest we're going to be covering Team Liquid appointing Claire Hungate as its president and COO, FaZe Clan partnering with DC to create a limited edition comic book, League of Legends, Dota 2 and Street Fighter V among the names announced for the 2022 Asian Games. WePlay Esports entering Rocket League with a $100,000 tournament. And finally, we're going to be talking about Riot Games confirming that the League of Legends World Championships 2021 will be held in Iceland. So, let's get into the digest. So let's kick off with the first story of the ESI Digest, and it is that Team Liquid has appointed Claire Hungate as its COO and president. Now, according to the release, which I do have here, Hungate will be responsible for a variety of things within Team Liquid, which includes overseeing its profit and loss and global business strategy, also its operations as well as leading global expansion, acquisition, and new revenue stream plans. Moreover, she will also be overseeing Team Liquid's equity, diversity, and inclusion efforts, and she'll be dividing her time between being in London and the Alienware training facility EU in Utrecht, which is in the Netherlands. Now, Hungate does have a lot of entertainment experience behind her, most notably being the managing director of Warner Bros. TV Production UK, but also she has served as an independent director at international games publisher Avalanche Studios Group, and is a chair of production music library The Nerve. Overall, I think this is a very interesting appointment, and it would be very intriguing to see how Hungate can use her vast entertainment experience to push Team Liquid further from a commercial standpoint, from a content standpoint, and from an overall brand standpoint as well. I think it's very interesting. Obviously, Team Liquid have started a lot of new kind of revenue potential opportunities, Liquid Plus being one of them, and so it'll be even more intriguing to see if Hungate is going to add even more kind of potential revenue opportunities using that entertainment background, but also, you know, the background on the many other roles that she's done throughout her tenure. I think that this move is going to be very interesting, and I can't wait to kind of see how Team Liquid's direction changes because of this appointment. Our second story of the ESI Digest sees us talk about North American esports organisation FaZe Clan and their collaboration with DC to create a limited edition comic book. Now, details regarding the comic book have been a little bit sparse, however they have detailed that it will feature FaZe Clan content creators in the form of superheroes. And obviously that is not all from this collaboration, as well as it was teased in the video announcement which was released. Alongside the release of the comic, the organisation will also launch limited edition merchandise that includes jerseys, hoodies, mouse pads that will be available to purchase on September 24th. Any other details regarding this deal have yet to be revealed. However, this is another huge collaboration for FaZe Clan, and it continues the list of notable partnerships and collaborations throughout 2021, most recently being the Optic Gaming FaZe Clan merchandise collaboration that was announced not that long ago. I think having a massive brand such as DC endorse esports through FaZe Clan really highlights where esports is seen now, I believe, in mainstream media, and also how it's continually gaining popularity, past the pandemic and even further as we, keep getting more and more of these partnerships coming through. Also very interested to see, a limited edition comic book. It's a new different style of collaboration, a new different style of partnership. So I'm really intrigued to see where this goes and where this partnership can kind of develop from that, and also whether we're going to see the likes of, Team Liquid or other esports organizations follow suit in partnering with, publishers to develop content, whether that be through comics, be through animation, be through films, whatever, as, esports starts to grow even more. Our third story of the ESI Digest is very significant. It is that the Olympic Council of Asia has announced which esports titles will be selected for the 2022 Asian Games in Hangzhou, China. So the games selected to make an esports debut as an official medal sport at the Asian Games includes League of Legends, Hearthstone, Dota 2, Street Fighter V, Arena of Valor, a Asian Games version they've described it as, Dream 3 Kingdoms 2, FIFA, and PUBG Mobile, yet again an Asian Games version. Now this is very significant as this is the first time that esports will be a medalled event, and they have chose 8 events for this sector. To ensure that these events go smoothly, the Olympic Council of Asia has appointed the Asian Electronic Sports Federation as its technical delegate. This means that they will be in charge of qualification as well as operation and management for its esports competitions. Now, as stated, this is a significant leap from the 2018 Asian Games, when esports was just used as a demonstration sport, so they weren't official medaled events. I think this is very interesting. The fact that now we're getting esports at the Asian Games, it really does highlight again like the popularity of esports, but not just from a mainstream perspective, but from a competitive perspective as well. It kind of details around the qualification of, is it going to be specific teams which will be entering, or is it going to be countries, you know, having a certain coach who will then select, you know, 5 Korean players, 5 Chinese players, or, you know, the amount which they need to complete a roster. Hasn't really been revealed. However, with the fact that now like these dates have been announced and the fact that the titles have been announced as well, you could probably expect details over qualification to be coming out soon. This is a significant step for esports, and it does kind of, you know, open the question of whether we're going to see more of an Olympic kind of esports centric like partnerships in the future. Our penultimate story of the ESI Digest sees us talk about WePlay Holding and its debut in Rocket League with the WePlay Esports Invitational. Some of the teams participating in the inaugural event include TBDS, Team Vitality, Guild Esports, the General NRG, G2 Esports and Dignitas. So WePlay has definitely secured some of the top tier, if not the top tier Rocket League teams for their debut event. Now the structure of the event has been revealed, and teams from each region will compete against each other in a double elimination bracket format, which is best of 7. Also, the final is expected to take place on September 17th. Moreover, the English language broadcast will be hosted from the WePlay Esports Arena in Kiev. I think going into Rocket League is the logical next step for WePlay Esports. Obviously, we've seen them with CSGO and Dota 2, and most recently, they expanded into the fighting game community, with a lot of success and a lot of a good reception regarding the tournament which had occurred there. And so going into Rocket League, expanding their operations even further does make sense. Given the success of this, you could definitely see WePlay Esports, you know, potentially doing more Rocket League tournaments into the future, and then also potentially expanding into other titles, as, you know, like they said, we've recently done with the fighting game community, and also continue the adaptation which they're having now with Dota 2 and CSGO. And last but not least, our final story of the ESI Digest sees Riot Games announce that the 2021 League of Legends World Championship has been officially relocated from China to Iceland, more specifically Reykjavik. Now, the event will take place from October 5th to November 6th, and as we expected, it will no longer be a touring event. It will be held in one place in Iceland, and also it will not have a live audience. I do think it makes sense to hold the event in Iceland, given the success of MSI 2021, both from a competitive standpoint and a viewership standpoint, but also from a health and safety standpoint. You know, given that the operations kind of went off without a hitch, you know, especially from a safety and a COVID protection standpoint. I do think that the most disappointing news is that once again the Vietnam international representatives will not be competing into the tournament, but I feel that was going to probably occur wherever the Worlds was going to be hosted. And as a result, I do want to add that Rogue Gaming, which is Europe's 3rd seed, have automatically qualified for groups. So while again it sucks to kind of see the Vietnam teams not compete, it's also nice to see that, you know, Riot has chosen a place which potentially they could get the most teams competing at one time, which was what they kind of detailed when they said for the reasoning behind moving from China to Iceland. Overall, I do think that this is actually a really smart, a really safe move. It'd be very interesting to see kind of how the dynamic of the World Championship changes through this relocation, and also whether the same safety precautions can be made from what they did in MSI 2021. And that is it for this week's ESI Digest. If you do want to read up on any of the stories that I have covered, then don't forget to head over to Esports Insider's website. Also, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube, and also follow us on any audio platforms that you're currently listening to me on right now. But until next week, I'll see you then.